So I'm activating FSD 12.5.1.3. I'm in Kissimmee, Florida, which is in Central Florida near Orlando and Disney. And going to drive south towards South Florida, mainly to show you a little bit of driving on the interstate and on the Florida Turnpike to see how it does and what issues come up, if any. The main issues I've had lately were with uncommanded speed limit changes down to 40 miles an hour in a 70 mile an hour zone, with the speed preset to 79 miles an hour usually. Still don't know really why that happens. And also going into this mode where it tries to, quote, maintain speed for traffic flow, which usually also results in significant speed reduction shortly thereafter. But maybe with some video of that, we can better analyze what the car is thinking. I do have it set in assertive mode. I have the speed set to be 12% above the posted speed limit, but I do not have automatic speed adjustment turned on, though it does seem to want to do that sometimes without being commanded to. So the FSD is already activated, as you can see. So we'll see what happens. We're recording today with the Ocala Brave 7E action camera, and I have a USB-C cable attached to try to keep the battery charged. The configuration screen says that when you're in assertive mode, it does more lane changes and follows a little bit more closely. So we are in a left turn lane that we should not be in, but there was a car coming, so it waited a second before coming over. So the posted speed limit, it says, is 65 with a set speed limit at 74, and we're going 49. This is basically a 2-lane on-ramp. So it's slowly creeping up the speed. The sign says that this right lane is going to end and merge left. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, so this is a fairly heavy traffic time of day. And we're on Highway 417, which is a interstate southern beltway for the Orlando area. This road runs from Interstate 4 south of Orlando to Interstate 4 north of Orlando and passes south and east of the city. And we're 4.5 miles from the Florida Turnpike, which will bring us to the south. And this is a 2024 Tesla Model Y Performance. I traded this for a 2021 Model Y about 4 months ago and have about 20,000 miles on this one. So we're less than a mile from the exit that takes us to the turnpike, which will require the right lane, but we do have a construction area with a lot of cones. which conceivably could create some confusion as to the location of the ramp. 0.6 miles. Turn signal on. Somebody just vacated a spot for us. 0.2 miles. Not bad. This again is a dual ramp. The left lane takes you north on the turnpike and the right lane takes you south in the direction of Miami. So for some reason it just hit the left lane like it wants to pass. And that would be a fail. It just missed the ramp because it was trying to pass somebody and wound up in the northbound ramp lane. So that wasn't exactly what should be happening, was it? You didn't really have to try to pass when you were only 200 or 300 feet away from the right turn south ramp. But it was a little too aggressive trying to pass somebody on the 2-lane ramp. Even though it knew from the GPS that it had to go south. So it certainly seems like in these last couple of versions that we've gone downhill on the highway driving. So we're now northbound on the turnpike. And it's 4 miles to the next exit ramp. Which means that's added at least 8 miles to the trip. If I'd been quicker, I could have disengaged, I guess. But we were so close to the on-ramp, the human driver didn't really have time to check to make sure the lane change was going to be safe. So the FSD should be bowing its head in shame about now. So we're 2.3 miles from this exit ramp on the Florida 528. The Florida Turnpike ramps are always a little bit more complicated and longer than typical interstate highway ramps. And this one is no exception, because it uses the same ramp to join Orange Blossom Trail. As it uses to get on the 528. And you go through some toll plazas, which now are purely electronic and unmanned. Lower the speed a little bit to improve its odds, unless there's a police car up ahead, just off the road. Talking to somebody that has a bicycle, which is not really allowed on the Florida Turnpike. So let's see how this works out. So it does get seemingly in the correct left turn lane. Ramp speed 25 miles an hour, but it's in the wrong color, so the car, as always, ignores that speed limit. It does slow down somewhat for the curve, but the speed limit here is 25 and we're going 32. The car thinks the speed limit's 45. So we get down here on Orange Blossom Trail and we need to make a U-turn. Not a great time for that with the traffic. Most of the traffic is northbound. So we'll see how this works out. At least we have a left turn signal. So we got the left turn green. And we got the ramp to get back on the turnpike, hopefully southbound this time, because I really don't want to go to Ocala. So this again will require us to stay in the right lane of the ramp once it divides. Well, actually the left lane of the ramp in this case, to get southbound. A lot of traffic merging around. And we are moving a little more to the left. But it looks like we're going to Ocala. So the second time on the same drive that it took the wrong ramp. So I think that's time to disconnect the full self-driving. So clearly a lot of work to be done to navigate getting on and off the ramps here in the Orlando area. So I'll just end the video there, because that's enough to know we need to wait till the next version to use this thing anymore. See you later.